Hi, everybody, and welcome to Spot On. I'm Abe Casbo, and I'm at Gibbons here in Newark with Frank Cannone and Mark Kuehn. We're going to do this interview in two parts because the breadth and depth of the information, I think, in this video deserves two episodes. So, Mark, Frank, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Abe, for having us.
Thank you so much, Abe.
So, tell us a little bit about Gibbons.
We're a New Jersey headquartered law firm, have been established for over 90 years. Our roots are in the state, and in particular here in Newark. But we have offices in Manhattan. I have two in New Jersey, in Newark, and in Trenton. An office in Philadelphia, Wilmington, Delaware, Washington, D.C., and down in Florida in West Palm Beach. Our practice is, and our background is the middle market, and that can run the gamut. But the focus is the core disciplines in a law firm that are needed by most middle market organizations, and that's from litigation to intellectual property, to real estate employment, insolvency work, government affairs, and then lastly corporate. And Mark and I are partners in the corporate department, and I chair the corporate department here.
And you guys are on the forefront of mergers and acquisitions, or behind the scenes, also on some of the technologies that are actually being explored and set up in the state. Can we talk a little bit about that, Mark?
Absolutely. So, tech is changing everything dramatically. And it's changing it so much so that the large companies, they have deep pockets, but they can't stay ahead of the curve on their own. So they are looking to these early stage startups. A lot of these startups are actually seizing corporate people that said, I can do it better on my own. I see what's not working right in corporate America, and I can make it better. So these startups are dramatically appearing everywhere, but they need funding, they need legal advice, they need intellectual property. So what we've done is we've found some really exciting ways to connect the large companies with the early stage people, helping them connect, bring them together. We're learning about it, we're advising them, and it's amazing.
On the connection side, are you guys seeing large companies buying these startups, or are you seeing a partnership? What are those relationships? What do they look like?
They're all over the place, okay? So yes, there are acquisitions, there are investments, there are collaborations that are kind of all over. There's no key type of collaboration. It could be joint marketing, joint development. The large corporations are starting to have their own incubators within their corporate campus or their corporate offices. Sometimes they're for their own people that are innovating. Sometimes they're for these startups, but they're not even investing in them. They're just kind of working with them. So they provide resources for their people to work with them. It helps them get ideas. So they're coming in every direction. It's amazing.
Yeah, you sort of metaphor it to they need to have their fingerprints on this technology to be, or whatever the new innovation may be, to be competitive. And back in the day, you had Bell Labs, right? Which you had a designated research and development department that was committed to the organization and part of the organization. And that's wonderful. But because it's so competitive out there, what ends up happening is organizations realize you can never guess where the market's going to go.
Well, you can have a research department in somebody's bedroom today.
Correct.
Like,
That's
somebody's
the other.
garage.
Correct. And as the organization that needs to be competitive, your better chances of success are by having many, many opportunities out there.
Right.
And you can never be smarter than the marketplace, but if you're part of the marketplace, you may come out ahead. And so what Mark was referring to is that you'll have large corps that sit there and make an investment, a minority investment, in an innovative company or a technology, so that they have a pulse on what's going on. Second, they have rights to that to a certain degree, and they may even have a vendor, that may be servicing their needs, and then they can test the marketplace without having 100% committed to it.
How does Gibbons find these deals, or where do I go as an entrepreneur to hook up with a large company that might be looking for technology that I've developed or something that I'm working on?
Yeah, like what Mark was alluding to earlier about our place in the marketplace. I mean, we're part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
You could say Mark is the ecosystem, right, with his network and the individuals that he knows. And and the relationships that he's gathered throughout a career. But we're part of it. So, you can have it from the capital side, you can have it from the technology side, you can have it from the accounting side,
Right.
the legal side, other consultants, large corporates, bringing those individuals together and understanding where there may be a fit. But how do we find it is by being out in the marketplace, and we as an organization being entrepreneurial in that regard.
Mark, let's talk about that. I mean, where do you go if you are the ecosystem? And I think you are, because I see you everywhere. Where do you go to find, like, how do you do this?
So I came to Gibbons about 16 years ago, and Frank helped me create a position of Director of Corporate Business Development at the firm, besides being a practicing attorney. Through that and through our relationship with multiple organizations, business organizations in the state, such as ACG, the Association for Corporate Growth, FEI, Financial Executives International, and others, we have run programs, built relationships with, I hate to say thousands, but it's more than hundreds of business owners, corporate executives, investors in the state for a number of years. So by having built that network, and it really began before this massive tech phenomena jumped in, okay?
Right.
So we had this base of corporate relationships, and then suddenly the whole tech phenomena is accelerating, and we realized they need to be brought together. So we started actually a couple times a year right on this floor. This is the Gibbons Conference Center in Newark. We have a room that holds over 100 people. And a couple times a year, we've been bringing large corps that have connected with early stage, and we're talking about it. So we have 100 investors, entrepreneurs, large company investment people coming and meeting each other, and we have presentations where we actually have 40 large companies come and talk about their investments or collaborations with early stage right here. We are October 23rd. I'm not sure when this will be out, but October 23rd, we're focusing on fintech. So financial services organizations are being dramatically uprooted by the new technology methods of financial services. And we have at the moment 3, and we'll probably have 4, maybe 5 large companies coming with the CEOs of the startups that they've invested in, right here, talking about how do you find each other, how do you meet. So it's just kind of a momentum that we've been working on years, and it's percolating up with this.
This really seems like a real life LinkedIn, right? Where you're bringing people together, but you're also making the offline connections, that human connection that LinkedIn or some kind of social network that doesn't have the capability to do.
Yeah, I mean, and what Mark didn't mention is that he was the founder in New Jersey of the Association of Corporate Growth, and ACG is a 60, 70-year-old organization throughout the United States, which is sole focus is to bring together businesses and service providers in the middle market, right? And that network lends itself well to the tech industry. But tech is just one. I mean, so we created this pond, and that allows lots of vessels to go on top. Right now, it happens to be technology, right? And we've done it with solar, and we've done it with cross-border. This organization have used this this platform for other industries, and industries come, industries grow, industries stay stagnant, and this model works very well, and it becomes an incubator to development for businesses and for relationships.